Okay, the moment of truth. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel.
Hey!
I have my mother-in-law as a guest, as you can see, and the reason why is simply because in this video I want to do a makeup makeover on her. So in this tutorial I'm going to apply an evening makeup the way she wants it, because it is important to me that my clients or my models feel confident with their makeup on, and that is why I try to apply a makeup that emphasizes their beauty and that they feel comfortable with wearing. So before starting with the makeup application, of course, we have to do the skincare part, and that is why you have to find out what the skin type of your model is. And mine's is normal according to my mother-in-law. That means she has no too oily or too dry skin, and that is why a hydration cream that is lightweight is enough. I'm using the Elf Holy Face Hydration Cream. حالا کسی تو رو آرایش کرده؟
آره ماما. روز عروسیم هم که افتضاح بود.
آخه خب اون دیگه قدیما خوب بودم. میکاپ آرتیستای خوب به نظرت قدیما؟
خیلی کم.
شاید الان میگه افتضاح بود، ولی واسه اون موقع مثلا
اون موقع هم دوست نداشتم.
آخه خیلی بده اینجوری، نه روز عروسی مهمه. خاطر همین به نظر
ابروی نازک بهم نمیاد و اون برداشت ابروی نازک کرد.
آره، یه سری میکاپ آرتیستا اونجوری میکاپ میکنن که خودشون بلدن، فقط یه روش و اونجوری که خودشون هم فکر میکنن اون روشه به همه میاد.
دقیقاً.
و میخوان با این روش به بقیه نشون بدن که این که میکاپ همون میکاپ آرتیست است، یعنی یه سیگنیچر درست کنن واسه خودشون. برای اینکه اینجوری نمیشه، یعنی یه سری میکاپ ها واقعا نمیاد به یه سری صورت و نباید.
اصلا
میتونی یه چند تا سیگنیچر لوک داشته باشی، حالا اگه فکر میکنی بهش میاد بذاری، وگرنه اول باید هرچی مشتری بخواد بزنی به نظر من.
دقیقاً.
I'm using the eye cream also by Elf. It's also from the same series, I think. It's also called Holy Eye Cream, I think. Okay, the eyes, the under eye skin is very important on mature skin. As all we know, with age it gets all drier. That is why it needs the most hydration, I think, and that is why I'm going to use an eye mask right after this step. So as for the primer, because she's going to wear this makeup as an evening makeup, I'm going to use the Hangover Too Faced primer to give her some additional hydration and also make the makeup more long-lasting. A very thin layer is fine. And it's important to let all the skincare products absorb very well before you apply any foundation. Of course, one important thing is also to use sunscreen, but because we're not leaving the house, we're not going to apply it. And if you do use sunscreen protection, make sure to use sunscreens with chemical filters, because they do not leave a white residue on the skin. Instead, they absorb very well because they are chemical, and they work basically below the skin instead of on the surface. The next step, I'm going to use eye pad masks for the under eye area. We want the under eye area to look plump and fresh, and that is why I'm using this. It's also good, it's relaxing and smoothens the skin surface while we are applying the eye makeup. Okay, so as you can see, my mother-in-law has very beautiful eyes. Her eyes are almond shaped and they are like pointed upwards. They look lifted already. When we apply an eyeliner, we will apply it like we do it on a hooded eyes. She has a little bit of hanging skin here, but it's not a lot. That is why if you would apply a thin black eyeliner, it would totally look fine. but as she likes to wear it bold, that's where it might interfere with the hood here and it might look a little crooked on her open eyes, and that is why we're going to apply the smoked winged eyeliner technique on her eyes. And I would highly suggest you to do that on even mature eyes that have like more hanging skin, where the skin here basically covers the whole lid, because that's the best way. If the client asks you, she wants to have an eyeliner and eyes with extreme hooded eyes, I really wouldn't do that, because it just would disappear when her eyes are open, and that is why I wouldn't do that. I would highly suggest you to apply a smoky eye makeup look for her. So very important is to use an eye primer. I'm using the Urban Decay Eye Primer Potion in Original. It really helps eyeshadow not to crease on mature skin eyelids. That is why I highly recommend you to do that on every eyes, but especially on mature skin eyes. So in the next step, to even out the discoloration on the eyelid, I'm using the Fit Me Concealer in the shade 20. I'm applying it with my fingers to get in the tight nooks. I'm using a concealer brush by Real Techniques to work the product onto the skin. So in the next step, I'm going to set the concealer with the Laura Mercier setting powder. Just apply again a thin layer just to set the cream product, because cream products always tend to crease into small wrinkles or folds. So for the next step, I'm going to use a creamy kohl liner by L'Oreal called Le Kohl in Midnight Black. That's basically how my mother-in-law would apply her eye makeup. She uses a creamy kohl liner to apply her eyeliner on the whole lid. But I'm going to use this as a base. As I told you guys previously, your clients need to keep their eyes open while you apply the eyeliner. Whether it is smudged or sharp, it doesn't matter. She has to let her eyes open, keep her eyes open, yes. Because when the eyes are open, the eyeliner, the wing at least, will not look crooked. As you can see, when we apply eyeliner or the wing on open eyes, we have a small gap which we need to fill in. Once it is filled, the client or your model can open her eyes again. And then you can see how much space you have to apply the rest of the eyeliner on the upper lash line, because that is also a very important thing. You don't have to apply a very thick eyeliner on the upper lash line of hooded eyes clients, because otherwise it will cover her whole mobile lid and that will emphasize the hanging skin or the hood even more.
It doesn't have to be even because we're going to smudge it later, but I'm trying to do it even because it looks more clean.
Okay, so this is basically our base, and now we're going to smudge this base. Also important is that you have a nice transition from dark to light. You see, you have to keep it darker when it's closer to the lash line, and the more it gets further, you have to basically smudge it. First, I'm going to use the shade Activist and apply it on top of the kohl liner. I'm applying a small amount on top of the kohl liner, just to give it a nice transition. And once that is done, I take a tapered blending brush, which has tapered bristles at the ends, as you can see, and I will blend my eyeshadow. As you can see, this is also what we want to basically cover with the eyeshadow, and that is what we're going to do, but we want to use the light color here. This is basically her hanging skin here, what I was talking about. This is her hood. So the next shade I'm going to use with the same brush is the shade Leader. For the transition shade, I'm using the shade Rebel. It's a lighter brown shade. I'm going to apply it basically into the crease fold. So I am using false lashes on our eye makeup, and the reason simply is false eyelashes really help to make hooded eyes less tired and more wide awake and open. I'm going to cut it though, because I've noticed that this is a little too long for her eye shape. I'm going to trim the inner part of the false lashes. Okay, so I've applied glue on my false lashes and I will let it aside to get dry. And in the next step, I'm going to apply mascara. I'm using the Full Frontal Volume Mascara by Fenty Beauty. If you have someone with extreme hooded eyes, then eyelashes are really a game changer. You just need to be aware that they shouldn't, if you use false lashes, that they shouldn't be too long. Otherwise they will touch the skin, the lid, and that is not a comfortable feeling. And also they need to be trimmed at the same size of the eye so that they don't peel off in the course of the day. So she has a bit of short and flat lashes. That is why in the next step I'm going to use a lash curler, because it will help us to align with the false lashes. What's going on? You can do lots of things wrong when applying this. So important to us is the outer part of the eye. We want the eye to look lifted on this part because that is where our hood is, and that is why I trimmed this false lashes, the inner part of this false lashes, and not the outer part. Okay, while this is drying, I'm going to go further over the lash band. That's what you can do. If the lash band is visible, you can go over it with eyeliner or kohl liner to make it more dark and blend in well with the lash line. So what you can do also next is to use the lash curler again and okay, now you can press the false lashes with the natural lashes together to make the false lashes blend in even better. I'm going to use a lighter brown shade called Rebel, and I'm going to apply it on top of the eyelid. Now we remove the eye pads finally. So once the eye pads are removed or eye masks are removed, you just can go ahead and use a ring finger and dab the rest of the product, if it's available, into the skin. For the next step, we have the base. What we do is, my mother-in-law doesn't apply foundation on a daily basis because why? Her skin is just pretty without, I think. And as I said before, the less is more, and I don't want to apply a lot of foundation on her skin. It's going to be a very thin layer, and that is what I also would recommend you to do when you have a mature skin kind. Use a little bit of foundation. It should be hydrating. I'm using the one from Fit Me as well. I love this one from Maybelline called Luminous and Smooth in the shade 125 Nude Beige. When you use hydrating foundations, they sit much better on the mature skin because mature skin tend to be more dry than regular skin. You can also opt for foundations that are made for mature skin that have like anti-aging serums in them. I will recommend a few in the in the description box, so you will have an idea which one would be better. But yeah, I think this one, I love this one, and as my mother-in-law doesn't have a problematic skin, it really works well on her skin. It doesn't have to be a very expensive foundation if you have nice skin. I'm going to pump a little on the back of my hand. I think 1-2 pumps are enough. And I'm using a foundation brush by Real Techniques in the number 200. And I'm going to apply a thin layer. She has a little bit of freckles, which are beautiful, and I don't want to color correct or anything. That's why I don't do this. So just apply the foundation starting from the center of the face and work your way outwards towards the temples and the neck. Once the foundation is spread, you can dab your brush into the skin and remove any brush strokes. Another thing I would recommend you to do is to use the eye primer from previously under the eyes. It will help to make the concealer more long-lasting and less creasing into the skin folds. So as for the concealer, I decided to apply it with my fingers because I think it's easier to get into the tight nooks with your fingers, and with the warmth of the finger will help to get the product better into the skin without it creasing a lot. If your client has dark under eye circles, you can of course color correct here. My mother-in-law doesn't like glowy makeup. She likes her makeup to look matte. That's why I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent powder again on the whole face. I'm going to use a regular powder brush by Alpha Makeup, and I'm going to use a smaller sized powder brush for the under eye area. First, we're going to set in the concealer. Going just to press the powder and dab it into the skin. Preferably don't bake with setting powder on mature skin. And in some cases, maybe even don't use powder on mature skin if the skin is extreme dry, because it will really help to make it more creasy, and that's not what we want. I'm going to use a powder brush and I'm going to apply powder on the whole face again. Again, I don't bake. Baking is basically you apply a thick layer of powder and let it like for a few minutes on the skin, and then you dust it off. So next step is contouring. I'm going to use powder contour. If you have a client with very dry, mature skin, then it is better to use cream contour, but I'm using powder because my client likes her face to look matte, and as she has a normal skin type, it's not too dry, it will look fine on her. I'm using this shade from the palette. I don't know what it is called, but it's a warm brown contour shade, which is also not very dark. Contouring starting from the ear, upper part of the ear, and then I'm going to stop right here, not go further down, because if you go further down, the face will slim down and it just doesn't look healthy or nice. I'm also going to contour the hairline on the forehead, along it, and a little on the temples as well. And you could also contour along the jawline a little. That will make it look more lifted, for example here. Next, I'm going to contour along the nose bridge. My mother-in-law has a very beautiful nose and it's a natural nose. I know you guys think all Iranians have a nose job. By the way, we're Iranian, if you don't know it. I don't think we've mentioned it. But yeah, I hope when I have a daughter, she will look like you. She will have the same nose like you. Yeah, same eyes. من خیلی اعتقاد به این دارم که دختر اول شبیه چیز میشه خانواده باباش، یعنی یا حالا مادر بزرگش، عمه‌هاش. آره شبیه پدر میشه دیگه. خب ورژن میلاد میشه تو دیگه. The next step, we apply bronzer. I'm using bronzer by Kiko Milano. I think this was a limited edition. Go on top of the parts where you have contoured previously and apply a little bit of bronzer if you like to look tanned, because my mother-in-law likes to look tanned. Okay, I'm going to apply this peachy pink shade. And while she's smiling, I'm going to apply it in circular motions on top of the bronzer and the contour towards the temples, and a bit here, and a bit on the nose. And I'm not going to apply highlighter because yeah, she doesn't wear it, and I think her skin already has a natural luminous look and she doesn't need highlighter. But I thought I will apply something nude like this one because she likes colors like these, nude colors. I do as well, and I think it will match her makeup, eye makeup really good. I'm going to apply this with a lip brush. So on normal mature skin, you have clients that don't have voluminized lips, and that is why you should use a lip liner to bring some contour. Also, I would recommend you to use matte lipsticks on mature skin lips because also is long lasting, but it's also not going to bleed into your folds around the lips if you have some. Oh, I forgot her brows. Actually, the lipstick is the last step when I apply makeup, but she's right. Her eyebrows are so beautiful that I just forgot about them. Yeah, so what we're going to do is just fill in a little because when you apply eye makeup and foundation on, the eyebrows tend to fade away a little bit in color. And that is why I'm going to give her some color using this eyebrow pencil by Benefit Cosmetics called Goof Proof Brow Pencil in the shade 3. She has a bit of tattooed eyebrows in the beginning. That's why I'm going to go over it a little to freshen the color. At the same time, I'm using the brush to blend in the strokes. I will use a brow gel from Got2b. This is one of my favorite brow gels to set her brows. So with the curved side of the wand, I'm going to apply the product. This is how it is advertised. You basically apply the product with the curved side, and then you glue or stick the brow hairs with the flat side of the wand. We're basically done.
Thank you so much.
We need to apply a setting spray. We're almost done. Setting spray by NYX, a Dewy finish. Okay, the moment of truth. I'm going to pass her the mirror so she can tell me whether she likes the makeup or whether she's surprised. Let's see her reaction.
واو خیلی خوشگله، خیلی خیلی amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Amazing. خیلی خوشگله.
تو همجوری میپوشیدی خودت هم میکاپ تو برای شب؟ یعنی دوست داشتی اینجوری بپوشی؟
اینجوری دوست داشتم ولی
پاک نمی‌کردی مثل اون گفتی تو عروسی خوشت نیومد؟
اصلا فوق‌العاده است. یعنی من اگه میکاپ داشته باشم که کسی تو ایران نمیتونه این سبکی بر من میکاپ کنه و تا جایی که میتونستم نگهش میداشتم. مرسی مامی. قربونت برم. هم خیلی سبکه، هم خیلی شیکه. منم که خیلی تغییر کردم.
هم که خیلی خوشگلی. داستان اینه.
خیلی من تغییر کردم.
Guys, let me know how old you think she was and she is now, if you think she has changed because of makeup. Let us know.
Thank you.
Oh, our cat. Our cat Whiskey in the background. This is my mother-in-law's cat Whiskey. He's so cute. He's going to be the playmate of Lula forever. He's going to stay here. He's so
فضول
cute.
خان.
Look at his beauty. Look at how beautiful he is. He matches so well to my mother-in-law. Look, their hair color. Oh, so cute. Oh my god. Chuki Buki. Chakuri Bakuri. He's a guy, 2 years old. He's called Whiskey and he's so cute and we love him so much.
میکاپ هم مونده قشنگ پاکم نشد. فدا بشه الهی.
Dein Ernst? Der Female.